It's Monday, the 6th of April 2020, and that can mean one thing, and one thing only, that it's time for today's The Quiz with me. It's your host, Edward C. Lewis. Very musical intro today. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling quite exuberant.
That's really
Did I tell you I planted a tree?
No.
Oh, okay, you chatters out there. How many of you have ever bought a live Christmas tree thinking, oh, great, this is something I will eventually plant? Well, that's what we did 3 years ago.
Wow, I didn't know about this. You've got a little Christmas tree going in your garden.
Well, for the last 3 years, it's been sitting in this little pot in the back garden, sort of well out of sight. But because I've been exploring out there the last week or so, basically I found it and it was still alive. So we released it from its pot, and it now holds pride of place in the front garden. We've planted it, and it seems to be surviving.
Look at you. Aren't you an environmental wonder? Did you have a nice weekend then?
Look at that, green thumbs.
I can see that. For anybody who is noticing that I am a little extra fluffy today, I did have a very lovely shower this morning. And so all of my hair is just starting to expand, and this thing which I've always refused to call a goatee is looking more and more like a goatee as it goes on. So it is going to get a trim at some point. Maybe just go down to the mustache and have like a fantastic twirly mustache. I don't know. Anyway, that's me. You've got your green thumbs. I've got my fluffy hair. Forgot to put on the jacket today. It genuinely is actually in the wash at this point. That's my weekend. That's how exciting my weekend's been. Lots of video games. Finished the Tiger King documentary. That was good fun. Everybody in the chat. Actually, this is a really important point that I forgot to mention this morning because I can. Don't say anything too loud because I can see in the chat that we have got Commander NSR2. We have got Bushranger. We have got Jester D. We have got Osric 42. Phoenix D Fire Spooky a lot. Bushranger, Zookeeper's Ghost, the Winter Mute's here. The Honey Thief of all people. Johnny Longwood. All of the best ones. All of the best ones are here. All of them. Every single best one. And Oliver Best One. Has no one made Oliver Best One yet in the chat? Because someone really needs to make Oliver Best One. Okay. Thank you, Oliver Best Ones. You are the best ones. And thank you for joining us here. Are you trying to wax your mustache for extra twirliness? I can do. I mean, I can come on and just do a real fop look at some point. Hello, Osric 42. Hello, everybody. And thank you again. I hope you all had lovely weekends. What did you guys get up to? We can throw some joy and love in the chat. Gives them to the animals for enrichment, and the elephants like eating the needles too, apparently, says Osric 42. I don't know what he's talking about.
He's talking about the Christmas trees.
Oh.
They give them away to the zoo. A lot of people do that, and they're then used by the zoos and nutrients and things like that. We would have to bring the elephants here, though, because I've already planted it and I'm not digging it up.
I don't think your garden. You've got quite a big garden. You could probably fit one elephant in there, but I wouldn't.
One elephant in the front garden, yeah. In the back, we could get quite a few.
But inhumanely, you could fit one in there, but it wouldn't be nice for them, would it? It's like, please don't put any.
Could you imagine the neighbors at night? The bellowing or trumpeting or whatever it is elephants do.
Neil, we thought it was lovely when you brought the elephants back from Africa because you were trying to help conservation efforts, but they are keeping us awake at night. So if you could tell them to quiet down between the hours of 10 and 6 a.m., that would be lovely.
There used to be a cockerel that lived across the back, and it didn't just announce morning. It announced 2 a.m. It announced 4 a.m. It announced whatever it wanted to announce whenever it wanted to, and it was.
I remember.
I don't know what happened to it, but I have a sneaking suspicion someone eventually strangled it.
I mean, that's horrible. It's a nightmare. But yes, I also heard that too. So NSR2 says, wife cut my hair. Spooky Lot says, I played a space game all weekend. I mean, I can't blame you. NSRT says, not too bad. That's good. You've now worked out how to save yourself 15, 20 quid a month now. Just get your wife to cut your hair for you. Sounds good to me. Tried to make vegan toad in the hole. It kind of came out like a sausage cake. Okay. That sounds kind of amazing anyway. I want a sausage cake. I know what you mean though, like instead of having that sort of fluffy, it probably just baked all together, didn't it, and surrounded the sausages, which is awesome. Osric went out for a lovely walk yesterday on the river, saw a kingfisher, a reed bunting, some long-tailed tits, and a few other things. I posted a picture on Twitter. Everyone follow Osric42 on Twitter for some nice outdoors pictures. Of course, Osric42 did that for his one trip outside for the day and returned home promptly into isolation. Which, to be honest, is no different to my life normally anyway. So there, yes.
The winter view, look at that. That's good. Assembled a filing cabinet.
Yeah.
9 years ago they bought this. That's like me, okay?
Yeah.
Keep something. I still have a picnic table from, it must be at least 15 years old. It's down in the shed. One day it'll make it out.
Isn't this chat lovely, by the way? So you've just got, like, right now, the honey thief and zookeeper's girl, husband and wife, by the way, just on their own separate thing, having a little sort of husband and wife style discussion. He's like, oh, it was amazing, Ed. She doesn't do herself justice. And she's like, oh, it needed a lot of gravy. I just feel like I'm right there in their house. I would like to enjoy that at some point. Daylight savings has kicked in, so it's only 11 o'clock here at night. I can join in now. Amazing, Darren. Welcome, Darren. Welcome. And on that note, we should probably delay no further. It's Monday morning. Well, it's Monday afternoon or Monday evening or, I don't know, Sunday night. Who the heck? I've got no idea where we are, but all that matters is that we're all here together for a fun quiz with WNL. The other way, WNL.
It's Monday. It is Monday. And, well, we don't hate Mondays here, do we? We love Mondays through Fridays, every day. It's quiz time. And today's quiz, of course, is, well, all about hot drinks. We decided that on Friday. Hot drinks, okay? Maybe I was thirsty, or you were thirsty, suggesting it in the chat stream.
Everybody seemed to suggest it in the chat. It is midday. Everyone wants their sort of post-lunch coffees and teas.
Time for a coffee or a tea or a or whatever, yes.
Yeah.
And quite a few interesting suggestions. So today we have 10 questions specifically on hot drinks. And as usual, Edward will turn off so we cannot see you, chatters. Only I will be able to see your answers. And I'll take your first three on each question. If we have consensus, that's your answer. If you don't have consensus, well, then I'll just take the first one that I saw. No cheating, no Googling, no anything like that. It has to come from within the depths of your head. Okay? Or maybe just off the top of. But, need to be your guesses, okay? Or, wondrous, knowledgeable, factual answers, whatever. And then as soon as you've given yours, then I'll ask Edward for his, and we'll compare and watch. Well, the scores, they can't tumble, but
hey, hold on a minute.
They'll go up.
They'll go up, yes. I mean, look, we're always adding right answers every single day of these quizzes, even though I might not be winning every time, and even though everybody might not be. We're all learning. I hope everybody's taking things. And talking of learning, before we do begin, do you have a fact for the day, or have you chosen against doing the fact for the day today?
I do have a fact of the day. It's because I've also been watching out the window and watching people walk their dogs. And it led me to, yes, I will admit it, I've been on YouTube and watched, some funny animals.
Haven't we all? Oh, it's such relatable, friendly humour, this, isn't it? Go on.
Yeah. If you say you haven't, well, I think you're lying. But anyway.
We've all watched a funny animal on YouTube video.
It led me to a little bit of research, and, I found out that officially man's best friend in the UK, you want to take a wild guess as to what it is? What sort of dog? Overall, the UK.
I'm going to guess a Labrador. Golden Labrador.
It is the Labrador Retriever. It's a Labrador Retriever is overall officially man's best friend in the UK.
They are good boys.
It does change from area to area. Do you know what it is in London?
Oh, like something hipstery, like a. Oh no, it depends on where in London. I was going to say like if it's East London, it's probably like a sausage dog. They're very fashionable at the moment. But I reckon more like in London, people are going to go for a one of those awesome
four-legged friends.
Not Rottweilers. What they call the they're so beautiful, and unfortunately they're sometimes trained to be a little bit angry just because of the homes that they're in. Not boxers, the other one, and they're wonderful dogs, and like it's just of course how they're brought up. Staffordshire Terrier, yeah.
Ah, okay. Yeah, Staffies are quite nice. But to be honest, overall in London, it's the French Bulldog.
Thank you, Orca Force. Oh, the French Bulldog.
The French
Oh,
Bulldog, yeah.
how interesting. I wonder if the Londoners would change their opinions if they could change it to the there is an English Bulldog, so I wonder why they haven't gone for that, knowing this country at the moment in time. The winter, anyway, they can be wonderful, says Oscar40. They can be wonderful, absolutely.
It led me to look up.
It's all about looking after. It's hey, ups and downs. What are you going to say?
If you want to buy a cat or a dog, though, here in the UK, I know you can go to Pet Rescue and things like this, and that's probably the more admirable choice. But to be honest, I looked up the average costs of dogs and cats here in Britain. And do you know how much it costs to get, a new puppy?
I don't.
£550 on average. That's on average for probably a thoroughbred or just going out and getting one that has been bred, as opposed to one you find on the street and coax in with a bit of meat. £550. And for
don't
a kitten,
do that, by the way. Don't do anyone listening. Don't do that.
For a kitten, it's £125.
It's quite expensive. You should be going to the shelters anyway to get some rescue animals. That's the best way to do pets. Best way do pets. Pets go good times. Quiz time. Question 1.
Question 1. Here we go. Okay, as we said, it's all about hot drinks. Question number 1. In fact, quite a few of these are multiple guess, in which I will give you the correct answer and a couple of wrong ones. You decide which is which. Okay. After water, what is the most consumed beverage in the world?
Ooh.
Is it tea?
Oh
coffee,
yeah, sorry. People were saying bye. People were saying bye to me in the chat, and I thought that meant that they were leaving the chat. I was going to be like, "Osric, where are you going?" No, and now remembered I need to minimise the chat. Thank you for reminding me. But yes, good luck everybody, and have a good time. And don't win. No, you can win. I don't mind.
Okay, chatters.
We all win.
The question again. After water, what is the most consumed beverage in the world? Is it tea, coffee, or Horlicks?
Can't be Horlicks.
Oh, I have their answer.
It's got to be coffee. It has to be coffee.
It has to be coffee. Well, they were split. They had 2 for tea and 1 for coffee. It's actually tea. It is tea.
What? But what about Starbucks? Everyone goes to Starbucks and they all
Everybody
get
goes
coffees.
to Starbucks. Yes, but they go for Starbucks. I don't know, for the cheesecake or something. I don't know. Edward, you're 1 behind. The chatters, well done, chatters. You're 1 up.
Well done, chatters. Well done.
Although it was a split decision.
Yeah.
And it usually comes down to people's preferences. Okay, question number 2. Number 2, according to the International Coffee Organization, the ICO, which country is the world's top producer of coffee? Is it Colombia, Vietnam, or Brazil? Colombia, Vietnam, or Brazil? According to the International Coffee Organization, which country is the world's top producer of coffee?
One more time. Colombia,
Vietnam, or Brazil?
Ooh. You got their answers?
Again, a split decision, but I do have their answer, yes.
I'm going to go for Colombia.
You're going to go for Colombia. I do like Colombian coffee. It's very close to Brazil, which is the world's top producer of coffee.
It's not going well. I'm going for the full wrong answers today. Today's theme is incorrect answers.
Incorrect. Well, let's see if
I would have to know the right answer to be able to get the wrong answer, though, at this point. So if it's ever a guess. Anyway.
They did very well. They got 2 out of 3, 2 Brazils and a Vietnam.
Well
to be honest, Brazil, it's 2.86 million U.S. tons per annum. 1.8 for Colombia, 890,000 for Vietnam. They are all big producers.
Vietnam are slacking, though, I'm going to say.
Brazil.
Vietnam.
Brazil is the biggest.
Well done, yeah.
Vietnam has other things, but, well, we shan't go into them at this time.
Okay. I don't know what that means. You made it sound seedy. Even if it isn't seedy, you made it sound that way.
It isn't seedy. It's just an ignorance on my part. Question number 3.
It's just your way of bailing. We won't. They do other things.
Number three, and you've already mentioned it. It's time for Starbucks.
Okay.
It's all about hot drinks. Now, Starbucks, Which has the greatest number of calories?
Right.
White hot chocolate, peppermint hot chocolate, or salted caramel mocha? Which has the greatest number of calories? White
so
hot
delicious. Oh,
Peppermint hot chocolate or salted caramel mocha?
oh, I really wanted to. I don't care if it's the right answer. I really,
Not yet, Eddie. Not yet. Not yet. Oh, we've got splits here.
I really want a salted caramel.
Okay, I have
mocha.
their answer.
A salted caramel mocha has to be. I really want one. I really want one right now. Can you somebody send me a salted caramel mocha? I know that it might be cold, but I can put it in the microwave.
I've got that you can do. The salted caramel mocha has 510 calories. I mean, enough for an entire meal. But the peppermint has 550.
What?
And the white has 590 calories.
Who is putting so much calories in there? Stop putting calories. We don't need that many
I
calories.
mean, it sounds innocuous. I'd like a white hot chocolate, please. Okay, and here's your defibrillator kit to go with.
See, I thought that was kind of a trick question because I thought the obvious choice would have been the white hot chocolate, but I was just like, no.
Edward, can I say that you're maintaining your promise? You're still on 0, and Chatter's doing great.
And I tried to get that right.
Okay.
I tried to get that one correct that time.
3-0. Not quite yet a Premier League high score, but on its way. Okay.
I really have to change this.
Question number 4. Number 4, listen carefully. The etymology of the word coffee itself is a touch uncertain. But scientists agree about the country in which coffee originated. Was that what is now Turkey, Ethiopia, or Brazil?
Wow.
The etymology of the word coffee is, a bit shaky, touch uncertain. But scientists do agree about the country in which coffee originated. Is that what is now Turkey, Ethiopia, or Brazil?
See, I think I know the answer to this one, and I don't really want to.
Well, don't say anything yet.
Yeah, I kind of want to get it wrong. No, I don't. I want to try and get some actual questions right today. I'm going to guess. By the way, coffee. That's fascinating. I've never really thought about where the name coffee comes from. I believe it came from DJ Trump in 2019 or 2018. I can't remember, but he did say "cov-feef," and I think that what he meant was when he said "cov-feef" on his Twitter account when he was about to tweet something, and he just tweeted the word "cov-feef," which was a misspelling of the word coverage. I think what he actually meant was that he needed some coffee. And then the
either that or he'd had too many. One of the two, yes.
And then yeah, exactly. And then that's how the word coffee became known. Also, the stuff like are there not names throughout history of people who have a surname Coffee, or is that just the character from Stephen King's book The Green Mile, who's called John Coffey?
In the United States, I knew some coffees.
Yeah, so I wonder if it was a name first, or I mean, we don't know. Sorry. Anyway, Turkey.
You're going with Turkey. Well, they were split. They had 1 Ethiopia and 2 turkeys in their openers, and you're both wrong. It's actually Ethiopia. It is Ethiopia. So well done, those of you chatters who got Ethiopia. Unfortunately, you were outnumbered by the turkeys.
I genuinely thought it was the right one, though. To be honest, Turkey. But there you go. It just, again, it felt too unusual, and I think I got mixed up between one of our Christmas rounds that we do, which was, of course. Yes.
Where St. Nicholas was from. Yeah,
he's from, and that's quite an
unusual. And he is, the original St. Nicholas. There were 2, but the one that we sort of follow was originally from Turkey. Yes.
Great.
Didn't wear a green suit for Coca-Cola. Sorry, a red suit for Coca-Cola, or a green suit, which had been changed by Coca-Cola. All those things. Yeah. Anyway, it's Ethiopia. Question number 4. Oh, by the way, when I was researching this round, and I do tend to find some strange things, I remembered Stephen Wright, not Stephen Wright in the afternoon over here on the radio, but the American comedian Stephen Wright, famous for one-liners and things like that, just sort of stream of consciousness type things. Okay. He once said, asked the question, do Lipton employees take coffee breaks?
That's a good question. Maybe they're enforced to take tea breaks instead. I mean, they probably get free tea. Imagine if they didn't get free tea.
And it was Agatha Christie who said, coffee in England always tastes like a chemistry experiment?
All right,
Which maybe,
Christy.
well, maybe that's the 1950s, and she was
Yeah.
probably correct back then.
Yeah.
But now, yes, as you say, we have a plethora of wonderful places to go to have some nice coffees. Yeah.
That's great. Right.
Okay, you ready for the next question?
I am
It's
always ready.
to 3 after 4 questions. Question number 5, halfway through today's quiz. The Japanese tea ceremony, also called the Way of Tea,
Ooh.
is a Japanese cultural activity involving the ceremonial preparation and presentation of matcha. Okay. I'd like to know that matcha, is it powdered green tea, powdered black tea, or powdered white tea?
Say that last one again, please.
The Way of Tea, the Japanese tea ceremony. Ceremonial preparation and presentation of matcha. Is that powdered green tea,
Green,
powdered black tea,
black, yeah.
or powdered white tea?
White. White.
Yes. Otherwise, we're on the Isle of Wight again. We don't want to do that. We're not going there.
I know the answer. It's green.
And they got it as well. Correct, Edward. You've broken your duck.
Can I tell you a story that is probably getting somebody in trouble with the police?
Has it gone beyond 7 years? How
Right.
bad was it? Is it a felony?
It was over 7 years ago. It was 11 years ago. It was during my master's degree, and I had some friends stay around at my apartment in Preston.
In Preston, yes.
And you know when you're younger and you've got some sort of slightly unruly friends who are a little naughty. I won't name any names, but it wasn't me. I promise you it wasn't me. One of the ground floor windows was wide open to somebody else's apartment next door to mine. This is a terrible... And we'd been out drinking, and we came back from this big night drinking session, and I went back into my room. And the next day I get a knock at the door from the police. And they were saying, we're investigating a break-in into somebody on this apartment. Do you know anything about it? And I was like, no, I've got no idea what you're talking about. Like, genuinely have no idea. And I shut the door and I went, what? I was like, guys, do you know anything about this? And my friends, they had covered in green tea all over their hands. And long story short, because I could play this out. Essentially, they decided just to do some pranks. They didn't take anything, didn't steal anything, but they snuck in and they were causing some mysteries, just moving some items around and then snuck back out. And what they'd done, because it was like a student halls type thing, so it was just chaos, student halls chaos. What they'd done is they'd grabbed a box of green tea and just gone whoop, and green matcha tea, by the way, just went pooh. And the entire room, covered wall to wall, ceiling to floor, was like a green... Apparently, again, I wasn't actually there. Apparently, it was like a green mist had gone in front of their eyes, and no one could see anything in the room, and they were just like, we need to leave. And they left, and the next day, of course, they had to go round, and they had to clean the entire room. And these poor girls who owned the flat were just giggling in the corner whilst these lads were cleaning up all this green stuff. Anyway, it's not a funny story. Don't do that. But that's when I think of green tea, that's what I think of. I'm so sorry for bringing that up. I feel like we're going to get people in trouble. Moving on.
But, I mean, they did eventually make good on their foul deed. Still, you're right. Don't do it in the first place.
The moral of the story is, don't do that to people. It's not nice. But... that's it. That's the point of this story. Don't do that. Next question, please.
Next question, yeah. I have a similar tale from my childhood, and I'll share that at some point. But we will need a good 5-10 minutes.
Exactly.
For that one.
Yeah. And you can't handle too much Lewis for one day. People just want their questions. Not us rambling.
At the halfway stage, it is 4 points to 1 point to the Chatters. Chatters, you're ahead. Keep it that way, okay? There's a chance for him to catch up, but I trust you, okay? We've had 9 quizzes so far. You've won 8 of them, okay? Here we go. Question number 6. Number 6. Simple 50-50. It's a yes or no question. I would like to know Does Bovril contain caffeine?
Oh.
Simply, does Bovril contain caffeine? Yes or no? Let's have your answers. I have their answers.
I think Bovril does contain caffeine. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like they do on Tipping Point. I'm going to ask you one more time. No, so you're saying
Yeah,
yes.
I'm saying yes.
Yes, it does. Well, it has 642 milligrams of sodium. I mean, we're talking about enough salt to, keep you, virtually a salt lick all on your own for the deer.
Yes.
But it has no caffeine.
Enough
No
to preserve
caffeine.
your insides. Am I still on 0 answers? Correct, by the way.
No, you've got one.
Oh,
You've got
did
one
I?
Because you knew so much about matcha and green tea.
Yeah, I did know all about green tea.
But you stay on one.
I'll never forget
and
that green.
the Chatters, well, they ascend to the ranks of a 5. Do you know that? I'm not sure if it still is, but certainly when I was a kid over there, that Bovril, the actual condiment, is actually banned in the USA. Do you know why? I think it still is.
And this is the astonishing thing about US laws. You can, and again, I watched Tiger King. You can do some insane stuff in America, but you can't eat Bovril. Like, what is wrong with America?
In Ohio or Oklahoma, I think you're allowed to shoot whales out of a moving car or something or other.
Yeah, but don't eat Bovril.
But no, Bovril. It's all about. It contains meat products, and in
Oh,
US
does
law,
it?
you're not allowed to have condiments containing meat products. It's nothing to do really with BSE, the bovine spongiform,
or even anything positive for the environment. It's probably just to do with like laws to do with like money making, right? The meat industry making money out of it or something. Who knows?
Well, they didn't trust you shoving meat products into condiments. Yeah.
I don't blame them, to be honest. Next question, please, WNL.
Next question. It's question number 7.
Great.
Question number 7. Again, a bit of a multiple guess here. In this particular country, coffee is typically consumed all day long, every day. And coffee breaks are required by the workers' unions. Mm-hmm. Per capita, per head, it's the world's greatest consumer of coffee. Is that Austria, Finland, or Belgium?
Wow, I didn't expect those three to be...
The world's greatest consumer of coffee per capita.
Right.
Obviously, they don't have the largest populations.
Yeah, but so it wouldn't be... Yeah, more people drink coffee in Americas, probably, and yeah.
I know. France, Italy, the UK do not figure in these.
Yeah, I'm surprised. But so, I know about the Finnish. They have a little time called fika, which is their little coffee breaks that they all have, and it's like a religion. I think it's the Finnish who have fika. Or it could be Swedish. I'm getting mixed up with my Nordics. Sorry. Classic me. All right, well, so I'm going to guess Finland. That was an option, right?
Finland was an option, and very well done. It is Finland.
Yeah.
They got there as well, although someone came in even before I gave the suggestions and had Italy, and I agree with them. Italians do drink a great deal of coffee.
Espresso,
but they
right?
got there in the end, Finland as well. It's 6 points to 2. Osric42 is saying that in Alaska, you can't push a moose out of a plane. I would like to know how you got the moose into the plane in the first place before you get it out. And the side hatch, I mean, those antlers. But yeah, that's a good law.
You can push a moose out of a plane, or you can't.
You can't? You know, you're not allowed.
Well, I don't think you should be allowed anywhere, not just Alaska.
You can't. Maybe it says you may not. I don't know, yeah, we're back to the 23
because you can.
Is our was for ambi being been have as had do did does shall will should would may might must can could. They determine what that main verb means. So you have to be very careful in law. Maybe it's just that you can't do it, but if you could, maybe it would be permitted.
Welcome to WNL's English language lectures. Today, the 21 verbs. How many?
23. 23 auxiliary verbs.
I've had this all my life. You doing that, reading those out to me all of my life. One more time, nice and clearly.
Is, are, was, were, ambi, being, been, have, has, had, do, did, does, shall, will, should, would, may, might, must, can, could.
Thank you. It's
You're
very
welcome.
quick. It's very impressive. It's probably the most impressive thing you've ever done.
I used to. Oh, thank you. My year 8s, I used to get them to chant that back at me. Yes, it was quite gratifying.
Not a cult. Not a cult.
Not a cult at all.
Nope. Next question.
No. Okay, it's 6 points to 2. It's on to question number 8. Okay. Oh, by the way, Austria and Belgium are only 5th and 9th in the world. The actual number 2 in the world per capita is Norway. They drink a lot of coffee as well.
Oh.
Yeah.
There's some good coffee shops in Oslo. Yeah,
I'll-
been to a couple
yeah.
very good ones.
I'll try that out. No, I've never been there, and hey, who knows? Perhaps one day. Question
I hope so.
number 8. This one's a tough one. I'm not giving you any multiple guess, and I want the correct answer and no Googling. I want to know what you think. I'd like to know what ingredient gives the Tibetan hot drink po cha a salty, tangy, borderline rancid flavor. What ingredient gives the Tibetan hot drink po cha a salty, tangy, and borderline rancid flavor?
Rancid. But I don't understand. Isn't it rancid objective?
Rancid is objective. It is pretty objective.
Yeah, it's not like sweet or salted. It's just rancid. I'm going to say something gross, like anchovies.
Anchovies. That's a very good.
Can you imagine?
A very good guess, but it's not it. No, I mean,
Whoa,
if you
it's
take
making
things
me
that are
feel
rancid
sick.
and salty, rancid,
Licorice.
salty, it actually comes. It's a butter tea. It comes from yak butter.
Oh God, why do I feel sick to my stomach today? What's going on?
And I don't know. I'm going to keep it 6-2. Quite a few of the chatters. Hey, you had a great time. You know, they got to the yak, although the first one was
Did
yak.
they?
Fat. And I think that might have been a typographical error. Beyond that, we had yak testicles, and it's not really the testes that are in there. It's quite testy to eat it.
Guys, you've got all the ingredients there to make a joke up yourself. All right, there's yak testicles, rancid flavors, and butter. You do that. You do the work. We can only get you so far. You do the work.
Being the pedant that I am, though, I'm going to keep it 6-2. Okay, they're only trebling your score at present. Okay, and we have 2 more questions.
I feel like yak fat should be okay.
Well, it was yat fat.
Oh, yeah.
It was
So they don't get the
typographical
point.
error.
Well
I'm
done
sure
to
it
that
was.
person who got that.
I mean, the T is so close to that K on the board.
I don't understand why people were getting yak and just being like, yeah, yak. Obviously, why is that like a common? Anyway, sorry. Moving on.
But it's not. I mean, yak could be meat, and someone did say testicles. Yeah, it's the actual butter made from yak milk. Okay, right.
I need to eat something. I'm hungry.
Question number 9. Next to last in today's quiz, all about hot drinks. Again, simple 50-50. A nice cup of Horlicks. Does it contain more barley or wheat? A nice cup of Horlicks. Does it contain more barley
Or wheat.
or wheat?
What's your excuse for that one?
Hang on,
Wheat.
I have their answer.
Wheat. Barley.
You're saying barley. They said barley. And it has actually, 26% malted barley. But it has 46% wheat. Wheat flour, malted wheat together, 46%. So the answer is it's more wheaty than barley-ish.
I understand that. I don't really know what Horlicks tastes like.
Distinctive, yeah.
What's the was that question 10?
That was question number 9.
Ooh,
so it's still 6 points to 2. There is a chance for one more.
I'm going to get it.
And it is a quotation, okay? Quite an august quotation. I'd like to know which American president once said, bit of a multiple guess, if this is coffee, please bring me some tea. But if this is tea, please bring me some coffee. Was it George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, or Ronald Reagan.
He's a good one,
The
though.
American president once said, "If this is coffee, please bring me some tea. But if this is tea, please bring me some coffee."
Just bring me something else because this is awful. Is what you're saying, right? That's great. I hope it's someone.
I have their
I'm
answer.
gonna go for Washington. Let's give Washington
George
a little
Washington,
play.
because he could never tell a lie. Yes, Father, I chopped down the cherry tree and all that kind of stuff.
Don't know anything about him.
According to all the various different myths and legends around his life. And that was a very good guess, but it was Abraham Lincoln.
Oh, did they get it?
Abraham Lincoln. They got it, yes.
Congratulations! So what was the
Although they did have
final?
a Reagan's thrown in there, Ronald Reagan, but in general, hey, it was a resounding victory. Well done, chatters. 7 points to 2. Today belongs to you.
Well done, you. Well done, everybody. I can see you all. Welcome back. Washington lied a lot, says Ben Kai, and also had a distillery. Washington also owned slaves. Yeah, we can't say too many positive things about these people. But yeah, congratulations, well done, and thank you all for joining. Yes.
Edward, Ronald Reagan actually did have a quotation about coffee. He said once, "I never drink coffee at lunch.
Right.
I find it keeps me awake for the afternoon."
Yeah. It's good.
Which
It's a fine quote. I understand. So, WNL, we want apparently your story, according to Osric. Is it worth quickly running through the tea story? Apparently, that is similar to my story. I don't know if you want to do it now or if we want to.
It's nothing to do with tea. Let's save it because
We're gonna save it. We're gonna save it for tomorrow. We're gonna leave the incriminating stories just for me today, rather than you. But yes, something to look forward to tomorrow, doesn't it? Right? I'll remind you. I'll remember. Well done. But we won, says Orca Force. Oh, Orca Force really wants the story. The anticipation. I know. I'm sorry. Or the as Rick says. But thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining. Before we go for the day, first of all, welcome to this wonderful week. It feels very much like spring outside, which is really, really lovely. Make sure you are watering those plants. If you've got a back garden, make sure you're using that space and using it wisely and enjoying that back garden space. If not, throw your windows open wide, like mine isn't. But yeah, I turned off my heating for the first time. I realised that it was starting to get stuffy, and I was like, why am I stuffy? Anyway, thank you, everybody, and stay safe, you as well, at home. Before we leave, though, we need to pick next week, I was going to say, tomorrow's quiz questions. What are we going to be doing the quiz on tomorrow? Do you have any ideas, or do you want suggestions from the chat? Up to you.
Well, I was looking back at materials, and I saw that I did have a round from, well, a million years ago. Not a million. I'm given to hyperbole. I exaggerate. If I've told you once, I've told you 1,000 times, not to exaggerate. I found a round on pointed things.
Pointed?
What was that? Chatters. How about things on pointed things?
Okay. We've got Bethesda games from Orca Force, wink wink. Nice. Then World's Worst Decisions from Commander Benkai. That's a fun quiz question for the future. Famous Crimes as well. Trains from Ditopia. Osric 42 says stick, sounds good to me. Pointed things, a stick. Sounds cool, says Spooky a lot. I like pointed things, says Cosmogrog. Pointed sticks, says the Wintermute. Obscure musical instruments from Orca Force. That's a good fun one for the future. Le Petomane, I don't know what that is, Andy Pipkin. I'm afraid that I've just said something quite offensive in French.
Well, Le Petomane, he was a famous man who entertained all the heads of European royalty by farting.
Is this true? This is joyful. That's good. Farts can be a good round. He can do
fantastic things with his...
if we don't want to put people off their lunches, but yes, bodily expletives could be around. Petomane was a farter. Thank you. Being a fourth Dan Japanese swordsman. Very specific, but I do like it. Unique talents could be a better way of putting it. Favourite type of bogeys, says Phoenix D Fire. Enemies or the ones that you pick. But yes, all good suggestions. But let's stick with pointed things. But you are making a note of all these suggestions as well, right?
Yes.
Great. So the Honey Thief says, will it just be WNL pointing at things? Do you remember when we did picture rounds as well? We did one on this stream once a while ago. Military Blunders is a good fun one. We did once one.
Was it on the parts of a cow or? I can't remember.
It was parts of a cow when we did like the meat cuts of a cow.
Yes.
Which is good fun. Maybe we can do another one similar to that. Basically, the idea is that you send to me the image and I don't see it, and then we can put it up on screen, kind of, and I won't look at it in any detail until it's time to do so. Yeah.
Okay.
And either way, I won't have questions. So if you do have,
we'll see if we
all you
can
need
get some visuals. Yeah.
take a picture of it, send it to me via email, and we can throw it up on screen. So we can do a picture round at some point. That'll be fun. All right. Okay, everybody. Well, thank you. Oh, plants that could become meat substitutes. That could be a fun round. But thank you again, everybody, and have a lovely, 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 lovely afternoon. And we will see you tomorrow at the same time. Thank you, WNL. And remember, before I go, you are all the best ones, and also the screen that you're about to see, even though it says starting soon on it, I still haven't updated the graphics to say thanks for watching. So even though it might say that it's starting soon, it isn't starting soon. It's actually finishing. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!